into your consciousness. That advice really reached me throughout the many, many months spent immersed in the writing of this book. It was as though laying each word onto the page was a surrender of sorts, a white flag between me and the experiences in my life that maybe didn't go the way I thought they would. The ink on these pages enabled me to see my experiences, particularly the ones that didn't go to my plan, for the guidance, redirection, and resilience that each brought. Even through the acceptance of this, it doesn't lessen the disappointment or the pain that a long midnight brings. But the certainty with midnights is darkness, and with darkness also arrives the opportunity for alchemy. I have long been fascinated by alchemy. As a jewellery designer, it really appealed to me that there was a word for the process by which base metals are converted into gold. I felt the word richly and poetically captured the truth and beauty of my craft. Patina metals and bleeding hands that together produce sparkling, decadent objects that women adorn themselves with as glam armour. Over the years, though, I also started to appreciate the secondary and emotive part of alchemy, a magical process of transformation, creation, or combination. This transcended the physical or the obvious. It is the alchemy of the human spirit as it travels through the ranges and depths of emotions and experiences, from the dark, dusty hollows, and leads, eventually, if we choose to go there, into a golden light that envelops and recharges the fibres of our very being. It moves us forward. Alchemy comes from the ebb and flow of the human experience. It is not the highlight at the end of a cycle. It is the full spectrum of the experience in and of itself. It is the shadows that take us to the ocean floor. It is the broken hearts that shackle us. The almost but not quite circumstances that we think are hindering our path, blocking us from where we're meant to be going. But they're not blocking it at all. They are the path. That is the process. It's a true honour to be able to share my story with you. Having a career in the arts, I have worked across many of their disciplines, and the art of storytelling may very well be my favourite. This is because it is through storytelling that we are able to recognise parts of our own story in another's. If you recognise parts of your story on these pages, I hope, if nothing else, it brings you a certain kind of calmness and reminds you that wherever you are on your journey, whether your petals are facing the sun right now or retreating to what feels like a particularly long night, that this too shall pass. I also hope some of these stories might reach you like a hug or a little wink, and in doing so, no matter if you're in light or in darkness, in gold or in the dust, that some of the words on the following pages reassure you that what is meant for you is making its way to you right now. Right this very moment, you're exactly where you're meant to be. Chapter 1. Hustler. Hustler. Noun. An aggressively enterprising person, a go-getter. When I was 6 years old, sick of being an only child, I prayed every single night for God to give me a big brother. Mum and Dad sat me down one day and told me that while my request for a big brother was not possible, I would, however, be getting a new little brother or sister. I took it as a fair compromise. The following day, I excitedly told all my friends and teachers that I was not going to be an only child anymore. I was going to be a big sister. Then one day, not long after, my dad sat me down in the lounge room with him. "The baby in Mummy's tummy has gone to heaven, Poss," he said. That afternoon was the first time I'd ever seen my dad cry. I knew from Sunday school that going to heaven meant someone had died, but I didn't know you could die before you were even born. The next morning, when my Year 1 teacher at my very strict Christian school asked me how I was, all I could respond with was, "The baby's dead." "Oh, Sammy, I'm so sorry," she said, crouching down so our eyes were level. "Please tell your mummy I'm thinking of her and we're praying for God to bless her." "God's not real," I yelled. My teacher stood back up as the bell rang for class. I stopped praying and Mum never fell pregnant again. By the time I was 11 years old, I was running a business selling handmade jewellery in the playground of my school. Even at that age, I knew this operation would be frowned upon, so I sold my jewellery behind the bike shed. The place all good Christian girls did things they didn't want teachers or the Lord Jesus to see. My mum had enrolled me in a beading class the previous school holidays at the local craft shop in our hometown of Port Macquarie in New South Wales. It's a little surfing town on Australia's east coast, not dissimilar to Home and Away's fictional Summer Bay. I think Mum just wanted some peace and quiet at the price of $8.50 an hour, but those beading classes would have a bigger impact on my life than either of us could have predicted. There,